Hello everyone, I'm Nolan Smith, Senior Project Manager at Wygand Construction. Today we're located out here at Ottawa, Ohio at Nelson Manufacturing. Today we'll be talking with Tony Neese with Nelson Manufacturing and then David Burguy with Technicon Design Group, just to talk through about this specific project, the vision that it had for the area, the history of Nelson Manufacturing, if you could kind of speak on that.
Sure. Nelson Manufacturing is a pretty old company. We were founded in 1947 by Jack and Virginia Nelson as a lowboy trailer manufacturer. We were actually in the little town of Leipsic, Ohio, and we moved out here to this site in 1961, and we've made several additions and improvements over the years. This is the largest one we've endeavored so far. It's really going to cut down our material handling and improve our throughput as well as quality, and make things a little more ergonomical for our employees.
What would you say throughout the design phase was any unique challenges to get all of those goals accomplished?
On the office portion, it was kind of unique. Initially, when we first discussed the office portion, it was going to be a separate building. As we kept exploring options, we found it was really beneficial to bring this all under one roof. The office portion acts as the front door to basically all of Nelson's campus. So we wanted it to be something that kind of stood out from the rest of the building, but still was cohesive to the whole.
Just personally or as a business standpoint, what makes Putnam County so special?
In Ottawa, or Putnam County in general, there's always someone who's here to help you out. For the size of a community we are, we have a really wide variety of skills and expertise, and there's always someone there to help you out, and those people are always willing to put the work in to make sure the job is done right.
We'll go ahead, jump on in, hit on some more specifics, kind of the design, some unique characteristics of the building. So,
wonderful.
We do a wide mix and variety of products here, and that's been a unique challenge in getting this facility designed. One of the most unique and satisfying projects that we ever completed was doing the transporter for the James Webb Space Telescope. So a few years ago on Christmas morning it launched, and it was one of the only times in my life that I spent Christmas morning texting people from work. Because we were all up at our homes watching that launch, and that was incredible.
As far as the significance behind these two plaques, if you want to, and Tony kind of mentioned on it outside, but as far as the history of Nelson itself and the significance of these plaques.
Sure. Yeah, we wanted to kind of honor our legacy. We're still a small family-owned business. The Nelson family started the company, and Jack and Virginia Nelson passed away unexpectedly in a plane crash in 1990. Their son, John, who was the owner of the company at the time, also passed away in a plane crash. So very unfortunate history, but we wanted to honor them. The company has survived. It's not anything anybody wants to go through or have. There was this old sign out front that was kind of a memorial to the Nelson family, and we wanted to keep that as part of the history of the company, and make sure the employees could see that on a daily basis and be reminded that we're here because of them.
As far as Technicon's team then out in the production space, do you have any challenges or any motives that came into play when you guys were targeting a specific objective with your guys' design?
When you're dealing with manufacturing, that whole design process is really dynamic. With any building, you're always considering how the people move through the space, how they breathe in the building. You kind of have to consider that for the building itself and manufacturing. This project is unique in that we have some very large grit blasting and paint booths. We had to make sure that the building was safe to perform those processes. And Nelson was great to make sure they were always following everything by the book, just making sure that all the steps were in place to make sure the building was as safe as possible with those large processes happening.
So right now we're standing at the east end of Building J. What's behind me right now, the big brown booth, that is the blast room. And what that entails is there's gonna be raw steel coming in, and there's grit media that they'll blast those trailers down with. As we get down here, this next section, that is the finishing paint and bake cycle. You'll have your raw steel getting through. It'll make its way into this next booth. At that point, it'll go through a bake cycle and paint. That's one of the last processes as far as an internal booth system goes. Nearing the end, the west end of the building, that's where the final assembly is gonna go, fine tunes, controls, pneumatics, all that sort of stuff. And then once the trailer's done, it'll ultimately roll out through that west overhead door and then on to the next stop. Last thing to point out then, as you guys can see up there, those are their crane systems. So in addition to the conveyor system as it aids throughout the booths and finishing, the cranes will be able to assist on the very east and west end of the building. There's 4 of them that'll help throughout that process to working and moving those down the line. It's been an absolute honor and privilege turning this vision into life. Just as it's a landmark to Nelson, very fortunate to be a partner with them, and we are looking very excited to the opportunities ahead to continue building landmarks for other businesses here in the Ottawa community.